Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 24 of Little Amy in India, the stories of my grandmother when she was growing up in India. Today's story is about, pretty terrible sickness that we're going to find out more about in our story with Miss Michelle. So, let's find out a little bit about something called malaria.
Hello everyone, today's mystery item is a suitcase. I'm sure glad that Miss Ruthie packed her suitcase to come see me. And today, there will be a suitcase in our story, I bet. Let's read and find out. Malaria. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Mommy and little Amy loved to go on trips with Daddy. When he told them one day that they could go with him on a long train trip to some meetings, Amy could hardly wait to start. She dreamed about watching the scenery fly past the train windows, listening to Daddy and Mommy read stories to her, eating the food Mommy carefully packed into their big lunch basket. Ooh, Mommy got out the suitcases and packed the clothes they would need while they were gone. When the day finally arrived for them to leave, Amy was up early and ready to go, even though the train wouldn't even leave until that evening. By afternoon, Amy wondered why her head was hurting, but she decided not to tell Mommy. As the time passed, her head felt worse and worse, but she still didn't say a word about it. When it was time to leave, Daddy hired a horse-drawn carriage, and they soon arrived at the train station. Daddy put their suitcases and their lunch basket onto the platform, and Mommy and little Amy sat on the suitcases to wait. By now, Amy's head was hurting very badly, so she laid it on Mommy's lap. When Mommy brushed her hair back and stroked her cheek, she could not believe how hot little Amy was. Amy has a fever, she told Daddy. I need to get back home right away. Amy sobbed softly as the suitcases were repacked. Soon, she and Mommy were back in the carriage on their way home. What a bummer. Just as Mommy feared, Amy had malaria again. The terrible chills and the fever went on for days. The kind doctor brought them bitter medicine, and all their friends prayed for her. How thankful they were when at last she slowly began to get better. One day, she thought of her favorite nurse dolly that Auntie Dowling had given her. She never played with that dolly because she was afraid that fragile head might get broken. But the dolly was always kept where Amy could see it or carefully hold it for a little while. Could we put her in my bed so I can look at her? She asked Mommy. Because one side of Amy's bed was right against the wall, Mommy set the dolly where Amy could easily see her. Later, Mommy needed to change the sheets on the bed, and without remembering about the precious dolly, she pulled Amy's bed away from the wall. She heard something hit the ground, and right away, both Mommy and Amy knew just what had happened. The poor dolly's head was broken into many pieces. It would be hard to tell who felt worse, Mommy or little Amy. They both cried together. Later, Mommy tried to find another head for the dolly, but she never could, and the broken head just couldn't be fixed. How sad.
Sometimes we have tough times like Amy just had. She was really sick and was not feeling good. And then on top of that, she lost her doll. That's really sad. Sometimes in life we have sad times. Like we talked about earlier, sometimes we have happy and sad times. Like we talked about with Auntie Bruce. It was a sad story too, wasn't it? But we can know that Jesus is with us, even in the tough times. Even when things are maybe not as happy. Maybe they're a little bit more sad. We can trust that Jesus is still with us, even in those times. And I'm thankful that the story doesn't end there, and we have some more to go. So make sure to come back next time to startingwithjesus.com/stories and learn what happens in our next episode. See you then.